The top synths of the 1970s. Let's get funky.
20.
Gen SX 1000. That's the joint.
The Gen SX 1000. That's a keep it simple type of synth that's perfect for tight leads, funky bass lines, and sizzling effects. It's got a classic layout with easy access, and it's perfect for pajama parties.
19.
RSF Cobalt Expander. Ajaaxe!
Cobalt Expander is a monophonic synth with filter that's très bien. It's got a nice round tone, and the oscillators are fully sweepable. It's full of soul and raw power, and with that wood grain, she gets sexier by the minute.
18.
Korg DS2. She's grimy, juicy, and so groovy.
The Korg DS2. She screams, squelches, and spits out some serious noise. And even though it's a monophonic synth, it can create some powerful strings and some wicked effects.
17.
Pdp The Wasp. Ooh! Something bit me!
The Wasp is made like a toy and sounds like a dream. It's one of the funkiest mono synths ever made. It doesn't have much on the low end, but has a great mid-range tone, and the bandpass filter is where the magic lies. It's perfect for punchy bass, drones, effects, and crunchy leads.
16.
Octave Cat. This ain't no pussycat.
The Cat is a duophonic synth with 2 oscillators and 2 subs. It's got 4-pole filter with enough grease to fry a turkey. The low end has girth and creates killer bassline sweeps and drones. It's perfect for EDM, industrial, rock, and poppin' speakers.
15.
Roland SH7. Can you feel the funk?
This little gal is fat and full of balls. The filter can be smooth like silk or rough as asphalt, and that's a good thing. It's built like a tank and sounds thick and is perfect for indie artists or electronic artists looking for that classic 70s tone.
14.
The Roland Jupiter 4. She's funky, groovy, and full of gravy.
The Jupiter 4 is a totally underrated poly synth with that Mac Daddy BA662 filter. It's got onboard effects that include ensemble and chorus to juicing up those pads, and a classic arpeggiator which many artists have used for that silky smooth timing. It cranks out some serious pads, funky bass, and those silky leads.
13.
The Oberheim OBX. She's the real deal Holyfield.
It's a true Oberheim string machine, with strings almost as lush as Gray Slick. It's got basic modulation options that can create some interesting rhythmic pads and tasty effects.
12.
The Korg Maxi Korg. Let's get funkified.
The Korg Maxi is a duophonic synth with 2 nasty traveler filters with high pass and low pass, and a magical VCA. With the onboard effects, separate outputs, and that fat filter, you can create some radical sounds.
11.
The Yamaha CS20. This ain't no jive turkey.
The Yamaha CS20 is a beefy monophonic synth known for its fat bass lines, thick pads, aggressive leads, and those bread and butter tones. The layout is perfect and the sound cuts like a knife. It's got a basic memory bank and CV in that classic thick Yamaha tone.
10.
The Ems Cynthia. The only thing sexier than Kendall Jenner.
Ems Cynthia is known as Brian Eno's bitch. It's got a wicked low pass filter and a super fat tone that's squelchy and heavy in the mid-range. It's got serious modulation options which replaces the wires with pins. She's got a killer preamp that takes any wimpy tone and turns it into a monster. And the onboard reverb is totally bitchin'.
9.
The ARP Odyssey. Staying straight funky monkey.
The ARP Odyssey is a mono duo synth with 2 oscillators, 1 LFO, and a grimy filter. The Odyssey is a total rock and roll synth. It's tight, sharp, and full of soul. With that funky pitch bender and aggressive filter, the Odyssey will tear down the walls like a psycho in the halls.
The Korg MS20. She's got balls like a rhino.
The Korg MS20 is a monophonic gangster with 2 VCOs, a noise generator, and 1 LFO with multiple waveforms. It's got those 2 bitchin' multi-mode filters that'll chop down a forest like predators. The VCAs are quick and full of raw power. It's one of the most used synths for electronic, techno, and EDM. With a modulation matrix, the MS20 is like a supermodel with a brain.
7.
The Roland SH7. The return of Superfly.
The SH7 is a duophonic heavyweight with 2 VCOs, 1 LFO with multiple waves, and creative modulation options. It's got a crunchy filter, ring mod, pink and white noise, and you can process external sources with that chunky monkey filter. It's built like a tank and the sound so thick it'll blow down Chinatown.
6.
Stein Parker Synthicon. She's got the mashukas and the tukas.
The Synthicon is a monophonic heavyweight with 3 VCOs and a noise generator. It has that classic 2-pole Steinparker filter that roars like a lion. So if you got a girlfriend that's a prude, self-oscillate the filter with this baby and it'll drop her panties with ease.
Oh yeah!
5.
The ARP 2600. When you get a divorce, it's the only thing you want them to leave behind.
The The ARP 2600 is a true monophonic beast. It's got 3 stout oscillators and 1 LFO with enough modulation to send you back to school. This filter is perfect for percussion kits like hi-hats, kicks, and snares. That excels at thunderous bass, crazy effects, monster drones, nasty leads, and super fat drums.
The Roland System 100.
Holy dolomite!
The Roland System 100 is a beefy monophonic synth with 1 fat King Kong oscillator. The filter is super snappy, and the oscillator make the synth roar. The sequencer's got that old school vibe and gets the juices flowing quickly. The mixer section has a nasty overload and only adds to the sonic goodness.
3,
The OG Mini Moog. A worldwide studio hooker. What's up, Bob?
The Mini Moog OG, the monophonic king with 3 thunderous oscillators and that colossal filter. The OG Moog creates subsonic bass lines, percussion hits, soaring leads, juicy effects, and those chunky one-finger chords.
2,
Sequential Circuit's Prophet 5. The pimp with the limp.
The Prophet 5 has 5 voices, 2 oscillators, 1 LFO, and a primo filter. It's one of the most widely used synths for sci-fi and horror scores. In the early years, Dave Rossum and Dave Smith went fisticuffs with each other over the filter chips. Rossum said, "Hey, if you want that fat tone, you gotta pay me." Dave Smith went out to Walmart and grabbed some Curtis chips. Either way, Prophet 5 will cut up the mix like a chainsaw.
1,
The Yamaha CS80. The motherfucking king of the jungle.
The Yamaha CS80 has 8 voices of pure polyphonic heaven. It's got 1 greasy LFO and a filter that sounds like the Hulk. It's one of the most sought after synths in the universe, and the sound is so fire it'll burn down the house. And it's got one of the best touch ribbon controllers where you can let loose and finger your gal all night long. The Yamaha CS80 is so sexy, I don't even want to look at her.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because it's Taco Tuesday. Peace!